What's up guys, welcome to Chasing Folklore. I am George Martinez, and today I want to talk to you guys about the top 5 scariest, most haunted objects in the entire world. And number 1 comes in the Dibbuk Box, and the Dibbuk Box is believed to be the most haunted item in the world. According to Jewish folklore, the Dibbuk Box is actually a wine box that is used to trap evil spirits. The box is believed to originally belong to a Holocaust survivor, and after she passed away, the box was sold at auction. A man named Kevin Mannis was the first owner of this box, and he thought that it was a great find. Mr. Mannis was actually an antique shop owner, and he put the box in display. And as soon as he put the box in display, this is when things started getting really creepy. So one day, according to the story, he left the box in the store, and a salesperson that worked for him was in the store by herself. He had to leave to do an errand or something like that. And as soon as he left the store, he got a call from her. She was going crazy, saying that somebody was in the store and that they locked the doors and she couldn't get out and they were destroying everything in the store. Kevin returned to the store and found that everything was shattered and destroyed and had no idea who had done this. After this happened, Kevin didn't think that it had anything to do with the box, so he foolishly opened the box and saw its objects inside, and there was a bunch of really old things inside the box, like an old penny. He found strands of hair. He found really strange, creepy things. After this, Kevin started having crazy nightmares about demons and really scary stuff, so he decided to give the box away. Kevin gave the box away first to his neighbors as a gift, and he thought that they would receive it. Apparently, the box, after he gave it to his neighbors, appeared back on his doorstep, and the neighbors told him that they felt that there was something malicious in this box, and they didn't want any of it. After that happened, he decided to give it to his mother for some reason, and as soon as his mother had the box, she actually had a stroke. And then after the stroke, she couldn't talk. She had trouble talking and doing things, so she actually wrote him a note, and the note said, "Hate gift." So everywhere this box has gone, it's caused health issues, death, and disease. And according to its last owner, Jason Haxon, it caused the death of his mother. At number 2 comes in King Tut's tomb. This is one that actually I thought was really interesting, and I was talking to Chazelle about it, and apparently she knows, but I never heard of it. So she's actually right here in the room as well. But that's not the point. So the story of King Tut's tomb practically says, in 1922, after 3,000 years of being buried, King Tut's tomb was actually exhumed. After the opening of the tomb, it is believed that a powerful curse was released. It was believed that this curse would cause disease, health issues, and death to those who messed with it. According to the legend, the very first person to fall victim to this curse was the financier of the expedition. Apparently, he had a mosquito bite, and one day he was shaving, cut himself, and died from blood poisoning. Another interesting figure that was actually affected by the curse was Jay Gould, and we're talking about the robber baron of the 1920s. He actually went to visit the tomb back in the 1920s, entered the tomb, felt sick afterwards, and he could never recover, and he actually died a few years after going to see the tomb. Legend says that just being affiliated to the tomb could actually bring about your death. Aaron Ember, an Egyptologist who wrote about the subject, actually died because there was a fire in his house as he was writing a manuscript. According to the legend, he could have survived, but he decided to go find the manuscript, and it was labeled, the title of the manuscript is The Egyptian Book of the Dead. If you're asking yourself what happened to Howard Carter, the actual person who discovered the tomb, well, it's strange because nothing really happened to Howard Carter. Everybody around him was cursed and suffered disease, and some of them died. But Howard Carter, it's said that he was spared, that the pharaohs maybe deemed him fit to survive, and he died of natural causes at a late age. At number 3 comes in the Annabelle Doll, and the Annabelle Doll is actually a staple in the paranormal community. She's had standalone films, she's in the Conjuring movies, and the thing about this doll is that, well, the films, they make her seem really creepy, but in real life, the Annabelle Doll is a raggedy doll that's actually not creepy at all. Legend says that the mother of a college student bought the doll at a thrift store for her child. Donna, the college student, received the doll, and at that time, she actually lived with a roommate. and really strange things started happening. At first, the doll would appear in different places at different times. There was one occasion when Donna had left for school. She left the doll in the living room. She came back home to find her in her bedroom with the door closed, and there was nobody home. The girls decided to seek a medium who would tell them what's going on with this doll, if there's anything wrong with it. The medium told them that this doll was possessed by a child named Annabelle. And apparently the child was harmless. She was supposed to be a good spirit. So what Donna did was she gave her permission to stay in the doll and accompany her. And as we know, with really creepy things and objects, if you give them permission to stay, they can actually hurt you. Things started getting worse and worse and worse. And Donna lived with her roommate, but there was also a guy, and his name is Lou, who used to come to the house and hang out with them a lot. Apparently Lou never liked the doll, and he had a creepy feeling about this doll. One day, according to the legend, Lou was actually in the bedroom by himself, and he felt there was something behind him, like a shadow or something. He turned around and there was nothing there. But suddenly he felt pain in his chest. He looked over, he took off his shirt, and he saw scratch marks. And there were 7 scratch marks in total that were just red hot, and he could feel it. Apparently the scratch marks went away with a day or two, but Lou was really frightened. He told this to the girls, and the girls decided to contact Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed and Lorraine explained that human spirits can attach to other humans or bodies, but they can't attach to objects. So the only logical conclusion is that the Annabelle doll was possessed by a demon. So the Warrens decided to actually bring in a priest so they could do an exorcism in the apartment. They did the exorcism, and they thought that everything was gonna be okay and everything was gonna be fine. However, Ed felt that things were not completely okay and decided to take the doll with him so that they would keep her in a safe place. According to the story, he put her in the back seat. They started driving home, and suddenly his brakes failed and they didn't work. He took out holy water, drenched the doll in holy water, and the event stopped. The brakes suddenly started working again. The car actually drove completely fine, and they actually got home safe. After this happened, Ed decided to contain the doll in a glass case where she couldn't get out and couldn't be touched. After doing this, they put her in their occult museum, and they had her sealed with other objects that could be considered to be haunted as well. This museum was open to the public, and according to the story, a kid or a young man showed up and he started taunting the doll. He said, "Well, I know you can scratch people, so I want to be scratched too." Ed saw what was happening and he kicked the boy out with his girlfriend. He actually, minutes later, was involved in a motorcycle accident and he actually died. So they believe that Annabelle was the reason why this young man died. At number 4 comes the Lady from Lemb, and this is a statue that is also known as the goddess of death, because whoever possesses this statue is going to die. This statue dates back to 3500 BC, and its first owner, Lord Eflon, had it for about 6 years, and within those 6 years, all of his family actually died. Ivor Minucci, owner number 2, and Lord Thompson Noel, owner number 3, actually also after having the statue died, and their entire families died. By the time it got to its 4th owner, a couple of people had died, but some of his family members realized that this statue brought with it a curse, so they gave it away to a museum. This item can be found at the National Museum of Scotland Royal, and according to the legend, as soon as it got to the museum, the chief of this section of the museum actually died soon after it came to the museum. Of course, the museum curators can't say that this statue has paranormal properties, but nobody has touched it after the death of the person who was the chief of this section in the museum. At number 5 comes in the Basano Vase. And the Basano Vase is based on Italian folklore. The actual story of the Basano Vase is unknown and it's a little murky. According to the legend, this silver vase was given to a woman for her wedding present, and later on she was found dead clutching the vase. It isn't known if the woman died of natural causes or she was murdered, but what it is known is that the vase ended up being gifted to another family member, and this family member, after having the vase, died. The vase was then passed to another family, and this was all back in the 15th century. They found out that the vase had evil properties, and what they decided to do was to bury it. The vase was buried and disappeared for hundreds of years, but what it is known is that it was later found in 1988. When the vase was found, there was a parchment inside of it that said, "This vase brings death." But of course, the person who found it didn't care and still auctioned off this vase, since now it's a vase from the 15th century. The new buyer of the vase was a local pharmacist, and he died of mysterious causes at age 37. His family then sold the vase to an archaeologist who collected artifacts such as these, and he also died of a mysterious infection. According to the story, the last thing that happened was that the family just wanted to rid of the vase, and they threw it out the window. When they threw it out the window, it fell closely to a police officer and almost hit him in the head. The story says that the police officer actually made a ticket and told them that they had to pay some money because they almost tried to kill him, but the family refused to take the vase back. At the end, the police were the ones who actually kept this vase, and we don't know why, but according to the legend, the police themselves buried the vase or gave it to somebody to bury, and its current location is unknown. These are the top 5 scariest haunted objects in the world. Comment down below and let me know which one you think is the scariest and most freakiest object. And if you guys like stuff like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and turn on that notification bell. We put videos up every Monday and every Thursday, and I'll see you guys on the next chase.